Hey, it's Sasha Evdokov. Thanks for joining me today. And today I want to share with you some insight behind the TradeKing panel and platform. So I want to give you a review behind what the panel looks like, what the platform looks like, and just give you some insight before you sign up. I know that a lot of people out there, before they're looking for a broker, they're trying to figure out which one to go with, maybe based on some of the tools, based on some of the commissions. So in this video, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to share with you some of the things behind the panel and platform specifically of TradeKing. So that way you can see if the panel or platform is easy for you to use, if it's something that you can handle, if it has the tools and features that you actually want. So let's dig deeper into this panel and platform, and let's go into an in-depth review. So in this video, what I wanted to share with you was the TradeKing system and just one of their trading panels. So that would be that TradeKing Live panel. So the way you get to it is basically you go ahead and sign in with your username. Now, once you populate your username, there's a security picture that comes up, and you go ahead and enter your password, and then you sign in. Now, the first time that you sign in, there is going to be some enhanced security questions, and you just go ahead and answer those and put those in, just in case you forget to your password, or in case you want to register that computer that you're on. So that way, it just kind of is a more seamless registration process or login process every time you come back. And then finally, you'll get to this screen where you're able to transfer money and put a minimum deposit in. Now, you can transfer online, you can transfer a check, you can wire it, you can even transfer some assets to from another broker. So that's pretty good if you're looking to switch brokers and so forth. Now, as far as transferring funds for TradeKing, I believe the minimum regulation is $2,000, maybe TradeKing. I've also seen $2,500 at times. So you might want to double check, because by the time you're watching this video, things may have changed. Now, the beauty behind TradeKing, rather than some of the other brokers, is that I don't have to actually transfer funds in order to take a look at their panel. Now, the way to access the panel is really just to go to this TradeKing Live right at the top, and you click it. Now, when you're first loading the panel, it's really an online panel, and it looks really clean. I mean, the TradeKing overall, the website and everything, it seems as if it was, redeveloped, redesigned. It looks fresh. But the first time you load it, it's going to have a site theme, and you're going to be able to select if you want the light theme or the dark theme. And a lot of traders like the dark theme, because when you're looking at a lot of white on screen, it actually does hurt your eyes. So I would recommend you stick to a darker theme. Now, as far as wallpapers, you can also change your wallpaper there, the background that's being shared in the back, but that is totally up to you. Now, if you do make a little issue or mistake within your theme or panel, or you want to change it later, you just go ahead onto this widget right at the top, and you can go ahead and switch to a dark theme, and then it'll switch it for you. So now you can see that we're loaded on here to this panel. Right now, the market is up 194 points. So I'm doing it during a volatile session, just because everything seems to be running fine and okay at this time. But you do have these little boxes here, and these boxes actually can be rearranged. And notice that when you move them, they slowly rearrange and adjust. Now, you will have this fund your account area right here, and we're not going to fund our account just because we don't need to with TradeKing to use the panel and to do the review of the panel. But with some of the other brokers, I did have to go ahead and fund the account. So with this one, fortunately, we're able to do the review without actually doing the funding. Now, the beauty behind this panel, from what I've played around and used it for a few minutes, is really these widgets are kind of interactive. It's kind of like a little widget. So if you want to see a symbol, you can just type it in and hit enter, and it'll give you a quote. If I want to take a look at this next symbol, if I want to go ahead, take a look at what it's going to say, Harley Davidson is at 55.46. So it's a quick little way to get the quick quotes. Also, if you're doing any trades, I mean, you can show how many are open, canceled, pending, executing, and there's different settings for these widgets. So, you can hide certain widgets if you want. So say it looks like my funds aren't connected. So if I want to hide that widget, I can hide it and it rearranges things. So what I can do is just hide certain widgets, and that way it just cleans things up in terms of my panel. So that way I don't have a lot of things just on that home screen. So let's take a look at the other individual tabs and go through it tab by tab. So here, taking a look at the Home tab, this is your Home tab. Now, if we click the dashboard gets loaded with a lot of different things. And again, the beauty of this dashboard is you're able to rearrange things. It's kind of like a drag and drop. So I can rearrange things to go to the left, to the right, if I want the chart there. So there's different kinds of things that that you can do with these little panels. What you can do is you can minimize them, maximize them, kind of like collapsing them. So if you want to, collapse a lot of things, then you can go ahead and do that. So let's see, minimize that, and you can see how it starts to clean up. Now, if you want to create kind of a watch list, so what we can do is go ahead and enter some ticker symbols, and this would be kind of like our watch list. So you can see what I've done here is actually populated a watch list, and there's a handful of symbols. What you can do is open this up and roll it out, and you can see here, the open, the previous close, day low, day high, how the stock is moving, what it's doing currently, and just some other things. And you can remove it from the watch list. If I click that, it'll go ahead and get removed. If you want to take a look at the option chains, you can go ahead, click that, and the option chains are going to populate here on the left. Now we'll talk a little more about the options on another video, but for this panel overview, I mean, that's basically what's going on and what's happening. You also can go ahead and take a look at these on the charts. So if we go ahead and collapse this, and we take a look at, let's say, Caterpillar, then what we want to do is make sure we roll this down. And then there you go, the chart will populate. So all you do is you type in the symbol right here at the top. If you type in Mattel, the symbol will populate. It does take us a few seconds to register the data, but the chart to use is very seamless, very friendly. I like it much better than the Scottrade panel in terms of navigating the panel here. To zoom in and out of the chart, you just use the mouse wheel. So if you're on a laptop, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's very friendly. So you can zoom in and zoom out. You can also go ahead and take a look at the settings and show the chart settings. And here you can see the different intervals. If I want to take a look at the weekly chart, I can go ahead and populate that. So that would be the weekly chart. If I want to show the bars, which are a little bit compact, I can do it that way. If I want to do hollow candles, I can do it that way. Mountain view. We got, let's see, the candlestick view, which is the standard. And if you want to add a certain study in there, you can also do that. So if you want to add Bollinger Bands, then, they can go ahead and populate that. If you want to go ahead and add, let's say, Williams percent sign, let's just populate that. You can go ahead and add that. But really, there's a lot of good tools here for charting purposes. So they even have a few other tools like annotations and so forth. So very good, very nice panel, very clean cut layout in terms of this dashboard. It's very seamless to use. My only question would be to take a look at how can I add multiple charts and graphs and then potentially trade off of this. Now the downside, because we are on an online dashboard, you don't have that right-click ability for additional options like you do with some of the downloaded panels. So let's just see some of these other options here. So if we take a look at the add module thing, let's see, here we have a few other things that we can do. So here they have the trade alerts. If you're wanting to get some trade alerts, you can also change the site theme, a little bit more about the looks. You can have your account numbers also hidden if you want, and then your monitor width and some spacing and the home widgets, which ones are going to show up. So I guess you can customize some of these things as well. But beyond that, let me take a look and see if I can go ahead and populate more charts. However, I couldn't figure out how to put a second or third or fourth chart in here. I guess it's on a per chart basis from what I'm noticing. Now, there are some other additional options that I've discovered, which if you go to the settings tool right here, you could go to the 2 column or the 1 column, and the 1 column would just spread that chart out for you a little bit. And this, of course, would depend on your monitor screen resolution and so forth, but it would go to 1 column. 2 columns here, it's a nice friendly panel for 2 columns, really the way it's working, because it is inside your browser, and we're using Google Chrome at the moment. So if you look at the table spacings, that also affects that design that I mentioned earlier. So we have the comfortable, the cozy, and the compact. The symbols area right here, if I click that icon right here and populate this, this pops out a quote symbol. So what you could do is just watch that symbol right there. The other thing is you can put in that trade ticket right away on that sidebar. So really they're integrating the panel within the browser, making it, right when you're online and you log in, that's where your main panel is. If we go to the Accounts tab, there's a few different things that are in here. We have things from holdings, orders, realized gain and losses, records, manage portfolio. So obviously, if I just go to the holdings, I don't have anything right now since we just opened up the account. If we go to the orders, again, nothing is in there, but that's really what it looks like. You have the symbol, description, quantity, action, bid, and ask. Realized gains and losses, same concept. We don't have anything here. This is just based on your account. Some records, what's going on and what's happening, within your commissions, fees, and your accounts that you're making, the money that you're making, and any managed portfolios. So this, I guess, is something that they're doing for advising services, but you have some portfolio things that people can guide you on. Moving on to the Research tab, you have the markets right here. The Research tab, you can take a look at the markets. And this chart also works really nice, zooming in and zooming out. You can take a look at, even the 5-minute chart right here and see how the markets are moving. And of course, you can change things to the bar. You can change things to the colored bar. You can even change things to the mountains and so forth. I personally like to use the color bars with the TC2000 platform. I'm just used to that type of trading platform for researching my stocks. And then to execute trades, it doesn't matter to me where I execute the trades. It could be the TradeKing. It could be, Scottrade. It could be TD Ameritrade, multiple brokers. Just really comes down to what's your preference. So taking a look at this, it's a nice little chart. You can do the full chart. When you click full chart, you get that chart in the window. Now, unfortunately, I don't see a way to really expand it much bigger than just going to this icon right here and making it that big. I don't see a way to do it full screen unless I actually do a maybe browser zoom or something like that. So you could do that with your browser Control+, but I don't see any way to make it full screen. Now, if we go to stocks right here, stocks is going to do something similar to what we did in the markets. This is going to be on a per stock basis. So if you're researching the markets, this is usually an indice. So you can see here they have the market overview Dow Jones. If you click the SPY, it's going to change it to the spiders. If you click the VIX, it's going to change it to the VIX. The composite, which typically leads the market, you can see it's heading higher right now. If we take a look at the daily, again, you can see it right there. We've been having a sell-off the last couple weeks and a little pop today. So you can see the markets here, but the stocks does something very similar. So you basically have the stock right here, and here's your stock chart. And we can zoom in on this chart right here and take a look at it. The same options apply. And we can go ahead and take a look at other symbols that are out there. So like Johnson & Johnson. And you can take a look and see that chart. So as you zoom in on the chart, you can take a look at the chart. And if you want to trade it, you can go ahead, hit trade, and that side panel will populate similar to clicking it. So over there, that side panel will come out and show you what you're about to trade. And you can change your quantity, change your order type right here. You can go to limit, stop, stop limit, market on close, trailing stop, and so forth. If you do the options, again, same concept, but we'll talk about that in the option video. Now, the next tab that I'd like to talk about is the Tools tab, and in here, what you can do is take a look at the charts, and this is similar to when we went the full screen. So when we did the full screen chart right here, the same thing applies. You're just looking at the chart itself, and you can simply change the chart right here by just typing in a new symbol. So you kind of have to know the symbol if you wanted to trade it. So basically, if I'm looking for forward, I can just type forward, hit enter, and then here comes the chart. It populates it. And if I want to make it full screen, that's basically as big as it gets. So that's kind of the panel. The option tools, again, this is what it briefly looks like. But again, you might want to watch the options video to get an overview of that. The help tool, just basic chat. You can start a chat with them, the phone numbers, email them, mail them. So the support appears to be very good. And when I chatted with them once, the help seems to be very friendly and very nice. So beyond that, the customer service, I haven't used it a lot. So, in terms of customer service, I guess it's just the luck of the draw. But the company sentiment seems to be pretty good. And they seem to really watch out for their customers. So that's really kind of the panel in terms of the TradeKing Live and what it looks like, the dashboard, the accounts right here. You got the research tab. You have some settings here that, you can change, and the trading panel that pops up. For some brokers, it pops up on the bottom. For this one's on the side. Overall, a very friendly panel, very clean cut. And, I think it's a great panel, especially if you're starting for trading at the beginning stages or even intermediate stages. But as far as looking at different stocks and researching and scanning stocks, there's not a lot of scanning ability for stocks. So that's kind of one thing that you may want to take a look at maybe on another panel or see about, researching things in terms of here you have market movers. Maybe you'll be able to see things here on the side. I don't know if people would want to use that or look at this for the research, but for me, I like being able to scan other things a little bit quicker. So what I would have liked to see is if this panel right here by most active volume or by most active gains, if I just click it right here and either drag it over, which you can't, or just click it, that chart would populate right there, and I'd still have the watch list, and I can click the next one and look at the chart. Unfortunately here, this populates it, but then I'd have to go back to this list and then click the next one and so forth. So it's a lot of back and forth that you have to do for researching if you're looking at the charts. Not that that's a big deal, but it's just something to consider. So there you go. That's the panel and platform with TradeKing. I hope you got some insight out of it in how the panel looks. Overall, the panel was fantastic. I thought it was one of the better panels that I've seen out of all the 6 or 7 brokers that I have. Now, the panel does work really well, with the exception of there's a few little hiccups from time to time on some delayed data feeds, meaning sometimes it just takes a couple seconds for things to load up, and that is just because it is browser based. Now, in this video, we didn't review the options part of the panel. So if you want to see the options review, there's another video where I go in depth about the options part of the panel. Now, I would have liked to see a regular desktop-based panel because I find that they usually load and access a little bit quicker than web-based panels. But all in all, this panel was really friendly. It was great to use. I wish we were able to tab some things to place them across our screens, like multiple charts and things like that. But of course, you could do that with other trading or charting software and then use TradeKing to execute your trades. So, but besides those couple of little things, overall, it's still one of my top 2 panels that I've really enjoyed using out of all the brokers so far. And also, just as a side note, the options part of the panel is also quite fantastic. So there you go. Overall, fantastic panel, great platform, even has some great options that go along with it, and fantastic panel for people who are just getting started, or even if you're intermediate. Now, if you're a more advanced trader and you're trading a lot of stock, probably you wouldn't be watching this video, and probably there would be other panels and brokers that you may want to go with that cater more towards higher volume amounts of trades. But overall, for the general public, TradeKing, very good panel, and I hope you got that from the review. Now, if you want to see the options review or the options part of this panel, just go ahead and click one of the videos right below this video. And if you want to see some of my other videos, just click one of the thumbnails below this video and you can see those videos and continue learning with me. Now, if you want to see some of the stocks that I'm watching today in the current market conditions, go ahead, click this link right up here, and when you get there, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you those newsletters every Thursday when they are released. Thanks again for joining me, and remember to do what you love, contribute to others, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.